Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Service Podcast. I am your host, Sister Stephanie.
I'm your host, Sister Sally.
And we are back here this morning in my living room, straight chilling. We've had a little time before this episode to kind of just catch up on our everyday lives and also just go over what we wanted to talk about today during this episode. And Sally was telling me a story that we just kind of rolled into. And as she's telling me this, I'm like, bitch, you need to wait and we need to share this on the podcast because this is crazy. People are really crazy. And I think that sharing funny stories that we have and random things that I know you guys can relate to will just be so beneficial for this podcast and just creating a better relationship with you guys. We are doing, random shit too, and life is crazy and everything is really funny. So I was dying when she was telling me this, literally dying. And I guess the overall topic, if we're going to bring this story up, is kind of just dating and the crazy things that happen when you're single or living in a new place. So I know we touched on that last episode too, but I just think that listen, there's never enough stories to be told. We've all experienced them crazy.
I think one of those questions that we were asking too was asking about dating in
Miami. Yeah.
In Miami and in your mid to late 20s, early 30s. So I know when you moved here, you were already super in a long-term relationship with Johnny. When I moved here, I was single.
Totally different experience.
Very different experiences. And I actually was kind of dating around for a while. I'll tell you, when I first moved here, though, I was locked, loaded, tunnel vision. I have to succeed. I have no time. Yeah. That feeling when you're not at your best financially, physically, you feel you haven't been in the gym forever. Yeah. You don't have your nails done. You don't have nothing. You don't even have money to buy the right makeup.
I'm not in any place to be dating
I don't
anyone.
need to be out here.
Yeah, you need to be able to take care of yourself first before you're able to take care of someone else in a relationship, and even obviously mentally. You got to be straight. You got to be working on yourself and feel you're in a good place to be open to walking into the right person at least in your life.
And I don't know about you guys, but when my money's not right, and I feel like a broke bitch, nothing is right. Yeah. I could be the baddest bitch in the world, and if my money is off, no, it's not gonna happen.
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, do you realize how much of a better mood you're in, or when you get paid?
Oh my God.
I feel like I'm just in such a better mood when I know money's coming in.
I feel so hot when I got money. I'm let's go to Sephora.
Shit too. Let's go
re-up.
Get
I'm the
right,
same way,
You just I don't know, it's more motivating. You want to start the day, maybe go get lunch or something. Yeah. I got money.
Yeah, I got money. Let's go get some Pura Vida and hang out with my friends.
$80 on nothing at Pura Vida. Let's go to Sephora.
Yep. Shop.
Let's go to a blowout.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel so
There's
good.
nothing better. Yeah. So imagine how that translates in relationships, when you're
Yeah, when you got your own money, you don't, whoever you're going on a date with you're almost interviewing them, what can you do for me? Because I'm doing everything for myself. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's not attractive. I always tell my sisters, tell my girl, unless this person really just comes and sweeps you off your feet, what are you coming to the table with?
You have to have that mindset. What can they do to better you and your life?
Because I'm already good without you. Yeah. So,
yes.
I need to smell you before we get into this.
So when I first decided to start dating again, I actually didn't really make the conscious decision. My roommate and one of my best friends, she moved down here and she was straight on the hinge right away.
Straight on the Hinge.
Like,
what's the difference between, so there's like what? Hinge, Bumble,
Tinder.
And then there's like one that's like
Raya.
Raya's like for the exclusive.
Yeah,
right?
you got to be exclusive to be on
you get like
Raya.
approved?
Yeah, I got approved for Raya, but like the whole thing was, I mean,
Can you imagine? I can imagine.
But the level of like seriousness of Raya, what I felt was comparable to the Tinder. So like in my eyes, it's like, okay, Tinder's for hooking up.
Okay.
Bumble is kind of the same, but like the girl has to message first. Okay. So it kind of sets the tone different. I didn't really fuck with Bumble because like I don't know, whatever. And then Hinge is like you're trying to find a relationship for the most part, but there's still those, you know, players sprinkled in there too, obviously. But then Raya,
they're on all the apps.
Yeah. And then Raya, I felt like, so you have to be approved. And most of the men on there like do have some sort of like status, if you will.
Are they like on there like looking for arrangements?
I don't think it's not like
it's people like actually looking to date
like there's
people.
a lot of athletes.
But that's what I'm saying, like because it's like more like, you know, upscale people, I guess you could say.
I feel like they're still looking for a hookup. They're just like it's a different selection. Like you have to be like put in the pool.
I feel like there needs, I don't know, maybe Bumble or maybe what is it? What'd you use?
Hinge.
Maybe Hinge is more for like people who are looking to get into relationships.
Yeah, I think
like,
so.
I feel like there needs to be just an app where like people aren't just looking to fuck. You know, like show me something.
Yeah.
Someone.
Yeah. No, and that's why I didn't really fuck with Raya. Really, I was like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah.
So I stayed on Hinge, and it was kind of fun, I guess, at first. Like, you know, going through them, and like the profiles are like super extensive, like where you like put what you're looking for. Like you even have options to say like you're looking for a long-term relationship or you're figuring it out or like whatever. You can even put your religion on there if you want.
I guess it's like kind of fun, you know, like just to like sift through and see what's up, see who's on there. It's kind of like Instagram and stuff, but like more like to the point.
Yeah, you
know?
have like a legit profile. You can even attach
Did you spend
your
a lot
Instagram.
of time? Like I feel like that's like an app that like I could see people.
Oh my God,
just
yeah.
scrolling on
There
all
was
day.
days when I was bored that I would like spend like a while on there. And then I would get overwhelmed because I was like, there's too many like DMs.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I was just thinking about how the messaging part would be like something I couldn't.
And I think like my whole thing was the ones that I actually decided to like
entertaining pointless combo.
Yeah,
like,
no, those were the ones I cut right away. If they didn't ask to see me or take me out right away, I was like, no, next. You know, I'm not here to just have like a pen pal and chit chat. I want to like see if we click, and if we do, cool. If we don't, cool. Like next. So yeah, I mean, Hinge was actually kind of fun for a while. Like I won't lie, I met some decent people on there, like some decent guys that on paper, I feel like we're very eligible bachelors, and like they were super nice. They had good jobs. Like they had their shit together. They like, you know, their morals and values aligned with mine. But like the reason I didn't ever pursue any of those people was because there was no like spark. Like,
it's you just know when it's someone who you're going to be spending some time with. You know, like. There's tons of great people out there, but it's really hard to find someone you're like, oh, I want to spend every single day and live in your ball sack.
Yeah, like literally.
Like, when you know.
Yeah,
like I could
you
literally
do.
be with you every single day and not get sick of it. Can you be on lockdown with your man? That's
right.
the question.
Can you literally survive?
I feel like that's something
COVID?
We need to like be asking in our, when we get into relationships now. It's like, could you survive another round of lockdown and COVID with this person? And if not,
then no,
he ain't the one.
No,
but if you could, that's your man.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and I definitely believe that when you know, you know, because like I didn't really fully understand that until I met Aiden, because I had never felt that. I had never felt like the minute I met somebody like, oh yeah,
like I want to hang out with him more.
I want to like not let this end.
Annoying. Like I wouldn't want to just be hanging out.
No.
It's exhausting.
It's super exhausting.
Well,
and that's what was with the dating. I got so exhausting. I was like, dude, how do girls do this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even really feel like talking right now.
Yeah.
And so there was like times where I would like force myself to go out, and like I would end up probably having fun, but like for the most part, I was like, it was like pulling teeth.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like you would have had a better night if you just stayed home.
If I was like dreaming of my bed and like a joint and Netflix. And
oh my God, that's the funniest thing.
You know, and there was actually one guy that I went on a couple dates with, and in my head, I really wanted it to be something because on paper it was like legit. You know, I was like, damn, we match all these areas, but I couldn't force the
way you felt about him.
Yeah, it wasn't like that immediate, like, oh my gosh, like I feel like a and
I feel like if it's not that, then they're annoying.
and it's not. It doesn't always have to be like a huge heartthrob, but it needs to be like this, like this draw. Like I can't even explain it. Like,
well, it's if you're in, looking for the right things in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like to me, unless I'm like so in love with you, like why would I be with you?
yeah, because we're fine by ourselves.
Yeah, I don't need that. Oh my God, I can't even
Yeah.
imagine just like entertaining someone or gassing them up or fucking stroking their ego just for fun.
Just for fun.
Just for, whatever
God.
I was getting out of the relationship. Like, no thanks.
Yeah.
No.
I also like, this was probably a mistake of mine, honestly, thinking back to it, but I would go on some dates because people would be DMing me, you know?
And you just like felt obligated.
And I think, I
feel like anyone who's ever been single has felt like they just went on a date to like go,
Yeah.
like.
Well, I'm in a new city, and like a lot of the reasons why I was getting any DMs was because like I was like either out meeting people, and so that's how they got my Instagram, or like tagging certain stuff. I'm sure they found me that way, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a couple situations where I went on dates through Instagram, and the story we were talking about was via Instagram.
Oh, so that guy wasn't even on.
He wasn't on Hinge. No, he DM'd me.
Well, it's honestly, they're all just fucking the same shit. You know, it depends what you're using it for. But like
Yes.
Instagram is the same shit. You know, you look at someone's profile, see what they're up to, see what they have going on, kind of tell a little bit about them, like just from that. But
yeah, and you know what's funny is like the few dates that I did go on via Instagram, all of the guys had one thing in common.
are you
with
just
how,
realizing this now?
Yeah,
I'm dead.
with how they approached me. It's like they went to my profile and viewed me as like a good girl and like a girl that was different from all the girls in Miami because I had my own business. And on my Instagram, I have a lot of my clients, and some of them are a little like,
You're not just like posting yourself.
yeah,
and
it's like a lot of bigger influencers or
Right.
like the bigger work that I do. And I don't know what it was that attracted them to that. It was probably just that.
I do
simply.
think that people actually like find that attractive when
Yeah.
you're kind of like low key and you're not on Instagram
Yes.
like that. You know, like guys
It's
do.
like literally that was one of their like lines, like that they said. They're like, oh, like you look like a.
Well, I guess
know?
a guy that's gonna be like into that is someone who like can't handle having a girl that's like, like
Yeah.
he's a loser anyways, like reaching out to girls on Instagram, like not your type anyways.
Right.
But like
And two of them actually like wanted proof that I wasn't a catfish. And I was like, what? Like, really? Like
the fact that that's like a thing that people actually have to worry about.
I know.
Though, like it's real.
And I was like, if you look at my profile, any picture of me
Yeah,
is
like you
not
can tell
like,
your page isn't
edited
like,
and
well,
like
not even
weird.
that, but like you could tell that
It's like
that you're a real
authentic.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's not like your page is like looks like it's being run by fucking AI or something.
Right.
Like you look like you're like a normal girl, like,
Yeah, just like living my like work and life. You know?
your page doesn't give like fake
Yeah.
page vibes.
And there was
edited.
like two of them that asked that. I was like, oh, okay.
They probably
that should have been a red
they probably
flag.
seen some shit though. They
Yeah.
probably went on some dates with girls and they show up in person and it's like, who is that?
Well, and that should have been a red flag too, because like clearly you really out here on Instagram.
But that's what I'm saying.
You know,
Yeah,
know what's out here.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So,
Totally.
but yeah, this guy was like, somebody who's a little more known in the scene in Miami, and he like is like a luxury concierge club promoter. I'm sorry, but I mean,
right.
that's what you are. And he, very flashy on the gram, like not only with who he's like servicing, but like the fit, the money, the like whatever.
You could give a fuck.
In hindsight, I was being naive.
Yeah.
And
no,
should
but
have.
you were also like, we could go out and have like fun probably.
Yeah.
You know?
I honestly, as a new girl in Miami, I was like, whatever, this sounds fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably
not
gonna
like
be
you were
a
like,
good time.
oh, he's got diamonds, he's got pearls.
Yeah.
Like, let me be outside. Like, you didn't care about that.
No, I just wanted to like have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't thinking too seriously about it.
Meanwhile, anytime he messages a girl, he probably thinks like, oh, like, you know, she's gonna think I'm so lit.
She's gonna think I'm so lit, and like she looks like a good girl, so like I'm a wife her, like da da da. Like
I see right through you.
Yeah. Well,
Next.
clearly I didn't see right through him.
I know, but I don't think you were ever trying to date this
no,
guy.
I wasn't trying to date this guy.
Not for a second.
And he slid in my DMs. There was definitely some red flags I ignored, for sure. Not only in the DMs, but immediately when
But again, because I don't think you were looking at him as like a potential husband.
I'm not
so
like,
you were
oh, this is going to
yeah.
be my husband.
Yeah.
No.
Ugh.
And so he wanted to take me out, and he like asked for my address to come pick me up. He came and picked me up. We went to Sexy Fish, and anybody
was like, let me take her to
let me
Sexy
like
Fish.
wine and dine you.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows Sexy Fish, you're not leaving there paying like less than like $700.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a sceney spot here in Miami. It's honestly not even good.
The food is honestly
Horrible.
terrible.
Horrible.
I fucking hate the food.
Oh, it's disgusting.
The cocktails
we
are
talked
decent.
about this.
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting. The cocktails, yeah.
The only thing I really like about it is like the views of the place.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Food is disgusting. Like, I'm pretty sure mine was like,
Horrible.
oh my God, I was sick afterwards. Anyways.
And
so it's not really a flex. That
it's really not.
Okay, bye.
So we went to Sexy Fish, and there were some things at dinner that I shouldn't have ignored that were red flags.
Trying to like make himself sound
He was not only making him like
Name-dropping?
flaunting his shit, but he clearly like outed himself that he had like creeped through like my followers and stuff like that too. Cause he like asked me how I knew someone that I actually don't really know that well. I just know them through people.
Yeah.
And this person was like on, you know, a famous rapper's like team or whatever. And I like told him, I was like, oh yeah, I know them because one of my clients and friends dates this person.
Okay.
And it was literally just, she's their baby mom, you know, and he's a
Okay.
famous rapper. And he was like, oh, okay. It was like he was fishing for something, and I should have
And
known
also
that
like trying
too.
to like let you know low key that he knows
That he
someone, you know
knows
what I
them,
mean? Like,
yeah. And then he'll say little side jabs like, oh, you just out here like doing famous people. And I'm like, what are you talking
Shut
about?
up. This is like the lowest level
Yeah.
of like
So
the
stupid.
worst conversation. Yeah.
I like can't even believe I like went through the whole thing. But
horrible.
so then
It's a learning experience.
we're like leaving, and he says he wants to like get another drink, and he like wants to pop into Komodo. And I'm like, oh God. It was like a Wednesday, and everybody knows on Wednesdays Komodo Lounge is like it's like a lit scene or whatever. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go. And like in the car, he actually like says a comment like, oh, you outside, huh? And I'm like, what are you talking about? No.
I would just
and,
want to fucking kick him in his face.
and he was like, well, I know, like when you're with me, you're not outside. And I'm like, what? With you, I just met you.
yeah,
like what are you
what
talking
the fuck, bro? Was he like trying to touch you and shit?
Like he wasn't super touchy. No,
Good.
like there was a couple times,
He
but
probably like needed a couple drinks in him
I
too.
put
He's
like
that type.
a barricade around me with
Period.
energy. Like if I'm not feeling you, I'm not gonna pretend like I
Yeah,
am.
your hands
you know,
are like in between your legs
Like I'm
and
like
stuff.
this,
Yeah,
like-
goodbye.
you know. So we get to Komodo, and we're like in the DJ booth, and like I'm not really like talking to him because when I'm out, like I'm like dancing around, whatever. I'm not like over here trying to have a conversation in the club. Like I don't know. That's just I don't even know you that well
Especially
either.
with you.
And we had ran into some of like his friends or whatever that were other club promoters, and I guess one of them mentioned to him like, "Oh, I know that girl." And yeah, he probably did. I like when I first moved here, just like a lot of us, like
What's wrong
go
with
out
that? It's
with
a small
promoters.
world. It's
Yeah.
like, the fuck?
And so I get a text, and he's literally standing like this far away from me. I get a text, and it's him, and he's like, "Yo, you're outside, like you're for the streets, like sent me a screenshot of somebody saying like, oh yeah, is this the girl you're with?" And I was like, what? Like,
are the
is this
worst
really what's
people.
happening right now? Like right here. And so I walked up to him. I'm like, are you good? And he was like, don't make a scene. And I was like,
Who even
a
are
scene?
you?
I'm like, what are you talking about? So then I go to the bathroom because I'm like, okay, I need a minute. And I honestly, in hindsight, should have left right then, but I didn't. Not sure why. But I come back in and like they're like clearing out the lounge because there's like a private thing coming in. It's like some rappers are like taking the whole fucking
Table
place.
over.
Well,
Or that whole, I know what area
the whole
you're talking
whole
about.
thing.
Oh, okay.
They've cleared out the whole lounge.
It's a small.
Yeah, so they must, because it was like 2 rappers' birthdays or something
I'm sorry.
like that.
I was thinking about Swan, but you're talking
Yeah,
about
I'm talking about Komodo Lounge, like the whole thing. And it happened to be the one that I like know his baby mom, right? Mm-hmm. And so
the one that was that he brought up at dinner.
Yes,
Interesting.
happened to be the same one.
Interesting.
Ironic, right? And so then they all come in with like all their people, all their girls, like whatever. So I'm in there. I'm just like whatever there. And at one moment, I said, "What's up?" to somebody who was there. And then behind me, this man comes up and literally shoves me forward, like with his hands, and goes, "Yo, you're a thought. You're for the streets." And I was
Because you
like,
said hi to someone.
I literally couldn't even believe.
And this was
like,
your first night even
ever.
going out.
I had never met him.
Ew.
Ever. And so then I immediately walked out. I'm like calling my Uber. I'm going down the stairs.
Everything in me, like the fact that he pushed you alone.
Oh my God. The old me
on
would have like
site.
fucking smacked the shit out of him,
Yeah.
you know? But thank God that's not me. So I just walked out. I'm calling my Uber. I'm walking down all those stairs at Komodo. I get outside and all of a sudden this motherfucker's right behind me. He grabs me by the arm, like grips me. And he's like, "Get in my car. We need to talk." I'm like, first of all, let go of my arm. No, you're crazy. And he goes, "Stop making a scene. There's cameras." And I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure you're making the scene. And I walk into my Uber because it pulls up at that moment and I like get in the car. This motherfucker, I'm not even making this up if I could. Like he followed me home. And then luckily I had just walked in my building before he like pulled in.
He followed the Uber?
Yeah.
Was he driving?
And but he had also had my address from picking me
Yeah,
up.
of
So
course.
mistake number 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, he pulled in and all of a sudden I get a text from him and it's a picture of my front door. And he's like, "You're really not going to come outside and talk to me?" And I was like, no.
Like barricading yourself inside.
And
did
then-
you even
And I actually went back and forth with him for a minute. And I actually remember being in my apartment and stopping myself being like,
why do I
"Sally,
even have
why
to-"
are you entertaining this?"
Right.
Like, cause I was like arguing, like, cause he was like saying like, "Oh, you're calling me all these things." And I'm like trying to defend myself. And I'm like, for what though? And then I start getting Instagram notifications and I go on my Instagram and this man is unsending every single DM he ever sent. So it looks like I'm fucking talking to myself here. And I'm literally like, yo, this is crazy. Like, and so then I just like, whatever. I'm like, this is crazy.
You're like, this is why I don't do
Turn
this.
off.
This is why I don't want to
Yeah.
do any of this. Oh my God. Like
it
this
was
is,
actually insane.
yeah. Like what a weirdo.
And then later on, a couple weeks later, I am out with one of my girlfriends and some
Dickhead.
clients. And all of a sudden, my friend goes, "Sally, why is this guy like behind you, like pacing back and forth?" And it's him, like right behind the booth, like just walking back and forth. Doesn't say shit, but he's like walking back and forth. And I'm like, yo, this motherfucker's crazy. Call security if he snatches me off the booth. I swear, like I wouldn't be surprised.
Did you ever hear from him again?
Never heard from him, but like was there. And then I was out another night and one of his friends was like, "Oh, I seen you out with so-and-so." And I was like, "Oh my God, he's crazy." And I told him the story and he was like, "Oh, well, yeah, that's my homie." So, and I was like, word.
Honestly, they're all probably crazy like that.
Yeah.
Weirdos. I don't like that energy.
Yeah. So then I
No.
was like, okay, never again on Instagram or any sort of person in the scene. Like, no offense, I respect you getting your money, but like, nah, that's not for me.
I really think that it takes having some type of like weird experience.
Yeah.
Like dating someone I wouldn't even consider that a date, to be honest. That was just like meeting someone and going out.
Yeah.
But you have to have those experiences in order to like know, like, the situations you might end up getting yourself into or hopefully don't have to deal with that
Yeah.
shit. Because, I wasn't even like, this was like so long ago before I met Johnny and like, I guess, no, Uber. When did Uber become a thing? Like 2013.
Oh my God,
right?
that was so long ago.
No, I know. I'm thinking about one specific story. But anyways, that was just a question I could have asked off camera. But I genuinely was curious. ADD. But thinking back to like any time that I even went on, a date and like met someone, like, I remember being in those situations and being like, get me the fuck home.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't even care. Like, I don't think I could ever be the person who like goes to the bathroom and just like gets an Uber home and does it.
Oh, I did it.
But now in my life, I think I would. But
I did it.
God, I'm not.
I got catfished once where I legit walked into a bar.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah, no. There was one time I actually made up a story. I was like, oh, my friend's car broke down. I got to go get her. I'm sorry. It's an emergency. And that was for the catfish one. I legit walked into this bar and walked right past
Oh
him.
yeah, I might like text my friend and be like, "Hey, can you call me?" Like
call
saying
me.
that like
Yeah.
you really need me right now.
Yes.
And I just have to leave. But like, thank God I haven't been in one of those situations. But I'm saying now, if I were to date, if I didn't like you from like the first 5 seconds, I'd be out. Son. Like I would be out.
I did it one time where I did say I have to go to the bathroom and I left.
I would literally, like.
But that motherfucker deserved it. He was rude. This is back when I was like younger and I like would drink like cider beers sometimes. And this guy literally goes, he was talking about like weight training and shit like that. And he's like, yeah, girls shouldn't drink beer. And I'm like, beer in hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
just start chugging it in front of him.
I'm like, actually, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Bye. See you
Never
later.
came back. Yeah.
That's honestly pretty gangster. I honestly highly recommend if you're not feeling someone that you're meeting or like on a date with, like just do the dash,
Yeah.
Irish goodbye that bitch,
Like,
and never look back.
Yeah, who cares, honestly?
Yeah, because now when like you tell those stories and you're looking back, you're like, oh, I wish I never even gave that person a second.
Yeah.
So you might as well just like stop it in its tracks and just leave if you have to.
And I tried, honestly, I actively tried when I was doing this little Hinge dating thing that I was doing. I was like, it's a mature thing to not like ghost somebody if they really didn't do anything wrong, right? So I was really trying to make it a habit. Like if these guys asked like, are you into me? Do you want to go out again? I would like be honest and say like, no, I don't. I don't think that we click.
Like there's really no point.
There's no point, like it was nice to meet you, whatever. Some of them got very, very angry. Like
scary.
Like would blow my phone up. Like I'm talking like I didn't even know what to do. I was like, this is insane. Like these guys are
unfortunately
like rejection is not handled well, like at all.
Yeah, that they need to work on that.
Yeah. So I was like, maybe the right thing to do is ghosting. Like I'm confused.
Well, I guess to some extent, like, I would be like, I don't owe this person anything. Obviously, if it's a nice person, you want to like be honest and stuff. And it can never be a bad thing to be honest in any aspect of life. But some of these people really do like get butthurt and can't handle like just even like the nice truth.
Yeah.
So sorry, block.
Yeah, I know. And that's
so sorry.
This is the cruel world of dating
that we live in. Yeah, no, I love it. I really love it. I think that stories like this are the ones that like, maybe I haven't been in the dating world for a while, but it reminds me like why I don't want to. And I know you don't want to go back.
No, I'm good where I'm at now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I love that like right now we're both in relationships, and I feel like when you're in a relationship, it's cool to like hang around people. Like we go on a lot of double dates and stuff, and like just like people who are also kind of doing the same thing. Yeah. If like you're in a relationship and all your friends are single, I'm not saying like get new friends, but like it's hard to like hang out and make time and stuff because
it is.
They might get mad that you're always with your man, and like vice versa. You don't want to hang out with them because they're outside and they're going out and stuff. So it's nice when you have friends that are also in relationships.
I was just saying this last night to Aiden that like I was like, I loved how you always talk about how you're like so thankful that you and Johnny have each other, and you like love being in your little bubble sometimes and like just hanging out, just you two. It's a safe space, and you both enjoy it equally, and like it's like feels good and safe and like no bullshit, and like I was telling him like I like that, like I want that. Yeah, we have that now.
Well, and that's also like even just having those conversations with your friends. Like it's not like when we get together, I'm like, fuck men, fuck
Yeah,
this, like,
right.
you know, but when I'm in, it rubs off, you know, like the people around you also like want to be in good, healthy relationships if they're in relationships, you know, like it makes me want to like reflect on things more when we're like talking about things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you like learn things from people who are in healthy relationships. when
Totally.
you're-
And that's what we're doing here.
Yeah. Like
That's why
that's
we're
like
doing
the
this.
biggest teacher is like don't ignore people around you that have healthy relationships. Those are the ones you want
Just
to learn
people you
from.
can like connect with and like
Yeah.
relate to and stuff. And that's exactly what we're doing here. I don't know what we're at as far as time right now. Okay. So I was like, oh my God, I feel like when I don't see the timer, I
Yeah.
like think that we're talking for an hour and a half and really it's only been 30 minutes. So that's kind of crazy. But I want to know if you guys are feeling these like question based, also story based topics.
Yeah.
I think that it's just like a good way for you guys to get to know us a little bit more. And I think we both are like natural storytellers. We love to tell stories. And I feel like I have so many stories. I just got to dig into the archive and like, you know, maybe give us some more topics.
Topics. Yeah. I
Right?
think we should, like, we were talking about making every episode we at least answer like 1 or 2 questions. And that might be fun. So to keep everybody like involved with us, because we do want to make it like a community thing.
Yeah, we want to
you know?
we want to answer your questions and stuff too, like anything, literally, like anything you guys want to know or anything you need advice on or yeah.
Yeah. Anything, literally. And I feel like, you know, eventually we're going to maybe have some fun guests on and
Totally.
like if there's anything you guys like have ideas about that you want to see or hear.
Yeah, it just helps
know?
us, you know, and then I
Yeah.
think we'll be able to just give you guys more of what you want and it'll just be a better place to connect and all things are amazing.
Yeah.
So
I got stories for days.
yeah,
so.
I know. I do too. I just feel like mine are, I don't know. They're in the back of my brain right now.
Yours are a little bit further for
Yeah.
you than they are for me.
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
don't know.
less recent.
I feel like this whole year has been kind of like a blur. Like it just went by so fast. Like so fast.
I mean, the amount of times I say, I swear my life is crazy with things that happen to me. Like, so I'm sure I got like
we were talking about this the other day
stacks.
though, but like shit that happens, like crazy shit that happens, it's just more adversity. It adds, we're like well-seasoned human beings, you know, like it makes us better because it makes us smarter and it makes us wiser. And like, we've just been through more shit, you know? And I think everyone has to a certain extent, everyone internalizes everything differently. So it really just, you know, we're all different in our own ways. We all have stories to tell.
Yeah,
And we're here to tell them.
for sure.
So let's leave that there. Again, if you guys have any questions, let us know. Leave them down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. We love you so much. And we'll see you next week on the Sunday Service Podcast.